Anyway, yeah, a decent amount happened that episode, no?
Yeah, what? Okay, so we met a new, like, evil dude that we don't know. I love when stories have, like, the evil people, like, the bad people, but then there are, like, bad people within the good people, too. And then they're kind of, like, maybe good people within the bad people. Like, there's always, like, when you get, like, villains, there's always villains that the only reason they're villains is because people did something traumatizing to them, didn't give them any love, protection, they were hurt in some way that they basically turned evil or bad, by, like, moral and or societal standards. But there's also always kind of, you know, people that are supposedly good or heroes. Like I think about Gramps. Obviously, I'm probably only think Gramps is a villain because he's trying to kill Itadori. And I guess, in a way,
it's not black and white.
The only reason I want Itadori to survive is because Itadori's the main character and I like Itadori. But if I was in this universe and I was a Jujutsu sorcerer and I knew of Sukuna, you know, I don't know if I would have, especially if I hadn't met Itadori, really, I don't know if I would have the same opinion. I'd be scared. I would be like, that is too big of, like, a thing to have to deal with. Like, we're already struggling.
Yeah.
As sorcerers to, like, beat all these curses. We are losing numbers.
It's an interesting perspective because, like what you said, we're already struggling. Why take the risk of, like, potentially Sukuna coming out and, you know?
Yeah. So I don't know if they make you dislike him also with design, character art. He just looks kind of, like, mean.
I don't know, man. You saw him with a guitar now.
Okay, I really his next episode where he fights with it and we get to see all of that.
I don't know.
Because that blew me away. Like, I was shocked.
That's so funny.
I remember seeing the guitar in the intro and I was like, oh, Itadori starts a band. Like, no, Gramps starts the band.
Hell yeah.
Gojo's being okay. So, question. We're just gonna start with hammer axe guy. Well, he has an axe, but he uses it to hammer things in, which is kind of dumb. Why not just have a hammer? He wants to make a coat rack. Yeah, he wants to make a coat rack, and he was surprised that Gojo didn't enter the veil. Mm-hmm. But he made the veil. He
helped make the veil. He helped put the veil into effect, I believe.
So do you think he was lied to?
Yes. I do.
Oh, so he's being used as, like, a pawn, too, within the curses. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why are you expecting Gojo to walk in here when you made it so Gojo couldn't walk in here?
Well, he said, like, why isn't Gojo here? The monk lied to me or something like that, right?
Oh, the monk is, shoot. I have the monk's name somewhere else in some other book.
I don't know who you're talking about, so I don't want to say the wrong name.
You do know. Mahito's best friend.
Mahito's best friend?
Yes, they, like, lounged together on the beach, remember? He's the one that talked to Jogo in the restaurant when Jogo burned everyone and was like, oh, like, no, we can't let the Jujutsu sorcerers see me. And I'm like, sus. You're sketchy.
Geto.
Yeah, Geto.
Yeah.
Him. Okay. So, yeah, he is the monk. He's dressed like a monk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda.
So we have Utahime, which I don't know Utahime's techniques or anything. I'm kind of wondering who else has been brought to this environment from the villains. Because I feel like the students are gonna have to fight also, but it could just be Axe Guy and Hanami.
I mean,
Mahito was there, but on the outside.
Hanami's, like, did nothing. No damage was received from her by multiple attacks from 3 of the students who are relatively strong.
Well, like, 2 of these are from families, like, families that are, like, huge in this world, in this society, that are very strong. I mean, Fushiguro is, like, the only reason Sukuna's, like, doing anything for Itadori, because he's like, I want to stay around and see what this kid's up to or whatever.
That's a big thing that happened this episode. They're, like, talking about the lineage of the clans and, like, you know.
So Kamo is from the Kamo clan, but it's within the Zenin clan.
I think it's Zenin. It could be
Zenin.
But I believe so. I don't want to like say.
And then Fushiguro also was within that family as well, but did not. But Kamo's the only one that has the actual Zenin like technique or art of blood, right?
Yeah.
And so Maki and Mai, neither of them have it. Fushiguro doesn't have it.
But I believe that there was like it was if Maki and Mai had Fushiguro's power, then like it would be a different story. I think that that's what he said. Right?
I don't know.
I don't want to get anything wrong.
Just before he rushed down. He was like about to. Okay, hereditary techniques. So maybe the Shikigami is hereditary.
That's what. Yeah. But yeah, the 10 Shadows technique.
Oh.
So he was saying like Mai and Maki didn't have the hereditary techniques.
Oh, okay. So Fushiguro does have the hereditary technique, but does that mean there's multiple hereditary techniques within the clan?
There's 3 major clans, no?
Yeah, but he's within the Zenin.
Yeah.
So that means there's like, oh, maybe each of the clans within Zenin have their own hereditary technique.
Yeah.
So like the Kamo family has this blood manipulation. Fushiguro's family has
one of the Zenin
shadows.
clans. Yeah.
And then maybe Maki and Mai's, maybe Maki and Mai are a part of whatever one Fushiguro was in, or they're part of a different one.
I mean, he definitely just classified Maki, Mai, and Fushiguro
together,
all together in the way that he was talking.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
So, I can't hate Kamo necessarily for like wanting to kill Itadori, because he's trying to act within what he thinks he needs to do to be the leader of the clan.
But if he says clan one more time, I'm gonna fucking scream, dude.
Both of them are acting for their mothers, in a way. Or is that not Fushiguro's mother? Was that like his sister?
I don't know if you know who that is.
We don't know, but I think it's his mother.
Okay.
I don't think he ever explicitly said. I think I asked you when they first showed her, and you wouldn't tell me, but I'm operating under the assumption that that is his mother.
Yeah.
It was like his, what did he say? Not his, like, teacher or the person who taught him anything. But when he first brought that image of that lady up, he was like, the world, this society wronged her or something. And that is why he has this reason of, like, judging people by his own conscience, is because of this lady who I think must be his mom, because it would fit with the narrative that the birthing of the kids in this clan and whoever the mom is and whatever their status is very important. Especially with like Kamo's example.
Obviously it wasn't too important, no? I mean, it was just like, all right, you were born, your mother is a slutty, what did she say?
Concubine.
A slutty concubine. She's gone, but we're still taking you.
Yeah.
So, like, it's important to a degree.
Well, Kamo said that they had a lot in common. And I'm wondering if, like, their status of their parents, or, like, the fact that their parents weren't given the same affection or respect from the clan might be one of those, like, common grounds. But I'm just, like, obviously speculating with all of this.
Yeah.
Because that lady doesn't even look like Fushiguro, but, like, whatever. You can have look different.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it is, like, an example, like, obviously, it seemingly Kamo's dad was the actual member of the clan, and the mother was brought in, the concubine.
Yeah.
So the mother wasn't directly related to, or maybe she was further down the line, like further away, removed from the main families. And maybe Fushiguro's mom was, or not mom, whatever this lady is, if she's his mom, was the same thing. But anyway, I guess that's enough talking about if this lady is Fushiguro's mom, since I'm not going to get an answer on if that's the case. Okay, what else? What other cool things happened?
Like, Hanami, like, her, I guess, development of her own language was kind of nuts.
Yes.
And it was like, when she was first talking, everything was written backwards in captions, so, like, we could read it and understand it before they could, kind of.
What? You just said something I didn't know.
The language of the gods.
I like that it can be like telepathically like transported to their brains.
Yeah. That sword.
Hanami also calls
Where's
them children.
Yeah.
I like Hanami. I'm like, Hanami, why can't you just try to like teach humans how to respect the planet instead of try to? Well, but she might have tried before.
Well,
She's probably
she's a
been
curse,
alive for
no?
a really long time. Yeah, but she doesn't seem like to have this like evil intent.
I mean,
I don't think Jogo and them are operating under wanting to protect the planet.
She has an evil mission, that's for fucking sure.
Yeah, but she thinks that the Earth is innocent and it is being. It's almost like she's protecting something she deems as innocent and it isn't being taken care of. It's being abused, and so I'm like. I feel like the other curses are just kind of like, we want all our curses to be here. Let's, like, humans suck.
She's one of, like, the nature curses. Like, you know, like, same with Jogo. I mean, he was in his own right.
Yeah, but he seemed to be less, like, wanting to do this for nature's sake and more just for the sake of curses.
Yeah. Do you see how it says, stop it, foolish children, backwards?
Oh, you're right. I didn't even notice that. I just read pots.
What'd you think of seeing Togei's ability?
Okay, love Toge.
Yeah, it was awesome. I like what they do, like audio-wise.
It's like better, obviously, probably if you have headphones on.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that sort of when I feel like I might start watching shows in general, like anime specifically with headphones because they do so many like audio things. Like we just watched Death Note the other night, and they did so many crazy scenes in the rain.
Yeah.
And so we were hearing this distortion, this removal of audio because of like the rain drowning it out. And like there was a lot of really cool things that happened with audio in that episode. And I don't think I would have gotten the same effect like with Togei's voice if I didn't have headphones on.
I prefer watching anything with headphones on because I imagine the editor of whoever's making this
they made it with headphones on.
Exactly. And
so
like,
right.
But like it's just so much more of an immersive experience, you know. You're I guess like muting everything else in the world and focusing on what focusing on like what the person who made the project is intending to be heard and watched. I love the art for the water of the elephant. Super cool.
I'm so happy we got to meet the elephant. Tamed recently? Like, that means that, like... Okay, wait. There was 10 shadows, right? 10 shadows was whatever the technique was called, or the hereditary technique. Does that mean there's 10 Shikigami that he can tame and or make contracts with?
Maybe?
That's just what I would think by that. But there might be an unlimited amount, and you just might need to tame them.
Yeah.
But there also might just be 10. We have both of the wolves, but I feel like obviously the white wolf is dead, right? Because we haven't seen the white wolf since. That's sad. So that would be probably 1 as both of them. Maybe 1 and 2. And then Nue, the frog. Frogs, sometimes there's like plural. And then the elephant. So that's 5. So that means we could potentially, if 10 is the number, be seeing 5 more get tamed.
I love his eyes.
Yeah.
Like when Fushiguro like snaps. But he like Fushiguro, like one thing that I'll say just because like we've been given the context of it throughout the episode that we haven't brought up. Kamo said like that sword, where did it come from? In regards to Fushiguro having a random black sword here.
I didn't notice Kamo say anything, but I did notice the random black sword.
He before just because this is going to be hard to find, we'll just have to curse each other. I love that whole moment from Fushiguro. But yeah, he had the black sword and...
Okay, phone was slapped away. They all jumped back. Blood. Do we see him get the sword? I don't think so. Hanami. Okay, and then he swings the sword.
And then...
But it came out of nowhere. It's really tough. Okay, is this where Kamo said? That sword.
Kamo. Where's he been hiding it?
It's a pretty big sword. It's not like he just like pulled it out of his...
I'm not gonna say anything about it. We know, but I don't want to want to say anything.
Well, we
about
know
it,
that he learned how to do something that was rare and like reach into like space
Yeah.
basically and be able to like have weapons there.
Yeah.
So we know that he has this rare ability to do that, and it's especially impressive for a Shikigami user to have close range combat skills. I think Kamo even said that.
Yeah. Fushiguro is so fucking badass, bro. And also, Kamo's surprised that Fushiguro can seemingly understand Toge.
I feel like understanding Toge probably just comes from time with Toge.
Tuna with mayo.
Toge is probably the cutest character in the show.
Toge is so cool.
Inumaki, is that the other name they were calling Toge?
I think so.
I love how the transition of like, oh, we're fighting, we're about to curse each other. Oh shit, we have to be on the same team now.
Yeah. Because like at the end of the day, they are on the same team.
Yeah, and I love seeing that because I was getting slightly worried, I guess, that like maybe the Kyoto sister school and our school have a little bit too much beef at the moment with like the Ichidori situation that maybe they wouldn't be able to like coexist and get along and work together. But obviously this shows that they're not fighting to kill each other, except Itadori. They're fighting to basically prove themselves, but like without intent to kill. And now they've seen, oh shoot, that should not be there. Those giant like tree roots should not be here.
Do you remember early on when Itadori first got his uniform and we learned that Gojo like made like you have the option to make like changes to it or requests and Gojo did it for him. I love that like all of them are wearing like the same basic uniform, but all of them are like slightly different to match their own character, you know?
Fushiguro just has like slightly shorter pants. That's his, like, I like that Toge's is able to like cover his mouth.
Yeah.
Like that's a really cool effect to see him like zipper down.
Mm-hmm. It's cool when he was like holding it like at the ready. Like
yeah. I also love the addition of a different type of weapon being used. We had bow and arrow.
And
Pretty
them
cool.
being able to be controlled because of blood manipulation.
Because he put a little blood on them. And that's how he supposedly marked Itadori for this curse that around S. Was it around S?
It was like
one
upper first, I think.
It was like
or
around.
No, sorry.
It was
what is it called?
Really strong.
It's not. I don't think it was. It wasn't second grade. It was first grade. But yeah.
Yeah. And he like placed like almost like a scent onto. So freaking creepy. I do not like looking at that.
But yes, it like to be in conjunction with the flute, it would have attacked Itadori. I don't know how it would have gone.
We're not unified. That's what Gramps said.
Yeah.
Well, no dip.
I didn't think a second grade would be enough. Yeah. But that we don't have to worry about that thing anymore. The semi first grade. There you go.
Okay. I knew it was like not exactly.
I didn't know the
something.
term.
Yeah.
But the semi first grade we don't have to worry about anymore. It got easily killed. A semi first grade got seemingly easily killed by Hanami.
Yeah.
What does that mean for us? The only person we've seen
really freaking strong.
take down a special grade is Gojo.
Yep, he didn't even kill it.
Yeah.
He just was like, oh, I'll send you home with your head. Bye-bye. I don't... Okay, so Utahime's in there, Gramps is in there. Gojo can't get in, but maybe he'll be able to break it? I don't know.
Principal went to go see Tengen.
Yeah, for the veil.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the protection barrier. There was a barrier that was supposed to keep out other outsiders. Does Sukuna come out? I don't think so. I don't know. But like Todo's gonna be like, oh, Todo. I want to see Todo fight Hanami because Todo basically just uses brute strength and not like a weapon. So I'm wondering if that could help.
Good question.
Talk about the uselessness of putting Miwa to sleep. She didn't even have her sword. She was like, oh, I'm just gonna stand here and sing because I can't do anything without my sword. Oh, puts her to sleep. She can't even do anything. What was the point?
I mean, it like eliminated her from the competition.
Okay, yes, but she also wasn't much competition at that point.
Yeah, that was so funny though.
It was funny to me. It was comedic to me to put her to sleep because of the fact that she wasn't really even like.
Miwa is so relatable.
She really is.
I get worried. Like, I hope that I want to see her develop as a character because, like, I'm not much of an asset without my sword. So that was the right call. Like, we've seen Fushiguro develop. Like, at first, he only had his Shinigami, right?
Yeah.
And then he started training in hand-to-hand. Mm-hmm. I hope that we eventually see Miwa have, like, training or, like, improve in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, I just like her so much as a character. I find her incredibly relatable to what I feel like I would probably be like if I was in this universe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some big fights I think we're going to see coming up. I was really just thinking the biggest fight we'd see would be Kamo and Fushiguro, but boy was I wrong.
Yeah.
That the curses, the legion of really bad curses would come in. I was not expecting that. I just thought this whole episode would be like a really big action-packed Fushiguro moment.
Yeah.
Which I was hyped for. I was like so into. Like, that man has amazing eyelashes. He's beautiful.
He's such a good character, dude. I get so hyped up when he was like, well, I guess we'll curse each other.
I know.
The music went, like everything. I was like, oh my god, yes. Fushiguro is the man, dude. I want to see him succeed in every aspect of his life.
Me too.
All right, you good?
Yeah, but I also I like Kamo too.
Me too. I like a lot of characters in the show.
Students.
Obviously,
like
yeah.
They're young. Like, I can't like blame them too much for anything because there's some of them are still fighting against pressure that's being put on them by not only society but like family ties, pressure to make something out of themselves. They all have these like outside pressure or motivators that are kind of blinding them from being like what exactly they want to be deep down personally.
I could see a lot of characters in the show being a protagonist.
Yeah, like I feel like Fushiguro is the only one that doesn't fit what I just said because he's already decided he's living by his own principles,
which is badass.
And that is really badass. Like, that's why he's different than Kamo, is that he's decided what he believes and he doesn't care if it doesn't fit someone else's narrative or hopes for him.
Yeah.
It's the mission he's on. He at the end of the day can be proud of himself and can love himself just like Nobara because they did something that was true to themselves. That's why Nobara and Fushiguro get along.
Kamo,
there we go.
Yeah, Kamo versus Fushiguro is like Neji versus like pre-tuning exam Neji versus post-tuning exam Neji. Like after
Yes.
like Naruto kicks his ass. Like, I don't know. It's
Neji's a good character.
Yeah, but I like so many characters in the show.
Let's transport Neji into this world.
They already did. It's Kamo. But I cannot wait for next episode, and that's all I have. You?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.
There's always when you get like villains, there's always villains that the only reason they're villains is because people did something traumatizing to them, didn't give them any love, protection, they were hurt in some way that they basically turned evil or bad by like moral and or societal standards. There's always when you get like villains, there's always villains that the only reason they're villains is because people did something traumatizing to them, didn't give them any love, protection, they were hurt in some way that they basically turned evil or bad by like moral and or societal standards.